Hey, this is Politics with Laura. I decided to do another video about Payton Gandron. I can't get that boy's name. And more information came out about this manifesto, and I pondered on it for a couple of days because I wanted to make sure that if I did this, I wanted to be fair. Fair and impartial, and something like this is very difficult. So I thought, let me try to understand him. And I have to say, it's very hard to understand someone who does something so horrific to people that look like you. And for him, or for not him, but for a person to have such hatred I'll leave it at that, for people that look like you. And so I'm like, okay, let me dig in to see whether if I can do this. And I realized that I can. After reading The Replacement Theory, I had a better understanding of where he's coming from. And where he's coming from is a place of white people are disappearing. And I don't mean some meaning that that the white population in the United States, it's dwindling. He's saying that in the replacement theory that there's a bunch of immigrants coming in that are of different colors, and white people are ceasing to exist. Now, what was not mentioned was this. All right, how can I tackle this? All right. Abortion was illegal. Women were getting abortions. They were saying, my body, my decision, and you're not in it. So white women were having abortions. A lot of abortions. I don't want to say a lot, but a fair number of them. And they were taking control, reproductive controls, to where they were sexually liberated. So, okay, I don't want to have a baby with you because I don't like you, or whatever the reason is, and have an abortion. Now Roe versus Wade was overturned. So now states are saying that some states, and wow, I was really surprised. What state was that? Was it Oklahoma or Tennessee that had a very, very strict abortion law? Mississippi, Tennessee, I mean, they're just going across the board. So then I decided, let me go ahead and read the replacement theory. And I found it really interesting. I was like, whoa, okay. Wow. Okay, so there is most definitely a fear up here. And from Payton, to read that, he gained a fear up here. And he's looking at all the immigration thing that's going on. You have people from Central, South America, and Mexico coming up here, and they got color. You have people from the Caribbean coming here, and they have color. You have people from Africa coming here, and they have color. There are more people coming here of color than there are not. And women are also dating, white women are also dating and marrying men of color. So, I mean, I'm just like, this is interesting. This right here sounds like the Turner Diaries, as just broaden and expanding my thinking where he's coming from, how does this apply, looking at it. And also, if you look at the census, the white population of the United States has a very low birth rate. It's like when one person dies, one person's born. When one person dies, three black people are born. When one Arab dies, 10 are Arab or Muslim, 10 are born. So, and he had this fear. So what was interesting, that he was in military gear, and he had an AR-15 as Kyle Rittenhouse. That right there struck me. So let me go ahead and get to the article. It's very, very interesting. So what I'm going to do my best to do, because I really can't see it, it's too small, so I'm going to bring it up on a video on my computer. So I'm going to try to most definitely match it together. Let me see if I can get rid of this right here. Oh, okay. The Buffalo supermarket killer says that he was driven by the Great Replacement theory, which claims white people are driven by extinction. Payton Gandron's 180-page Google Drive document details his twisted reason for carrying out Saturday's massacre at the top supermarket, killing 10. Okay, before we go any further, it wasn't twisted. It was what he believes to be true. And I have to say, I have to say that there was some validity to it. Now, not only abortions, if you also take an account of homosexuality. I mean, that is a big one right there. And I'm not even going to go down that road. I don't want to have too many people jumping on me and putting hate in here. That's hate speech. No, I don't want to go through that. No. Okay. Okay, the great part of the manifesto focuses on the Great Replacement theory. It claims whites are deliberately outnumbered by in the U.S. by immigrants to other countries. Okay, let me go ahead and okay, Gandron said he chose to target the upstate New York store because it sat in a zip code 14280, which he said had the highest black percentage, that is close to where I live. He included a rudimentary map of the store, but did not name it before the shooting. He says he did not want to tip off anyone. He did not want anyone to tip the manifesto off in the hands of law enforcement. The manifesto said that he'd been radicalized by the internet rather than someone he'd met in real life, and added that he'd been inspired by Payton Gandron. Interesting. Tarrant is a white supremacist who killed a live stream 51 Muslims in a mosque in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2019. Gandron said the truth is my personal life and experiences are of no value. Payton pictured the court Saturday, posted a chilling 180-page manifesto detailing his racism, anti-Semitism before his murder of 10 at Buffalo, New York. Payton pictured the court Saturday, posted New York. Gandron listed his top inspirations of the New Zealand mosque killer Brenton Tarrant, who killed 51 in 2019. That is really interesting. That is really interesting. Two things that Trenton not only live streams, but he goes into a mosque on Christchurch. That okay. And he goes in and he does the killing through social media. That's wild. Very wild. Okay, racist mass murderer Dylan Roof's appeal to the attorney. Andres Borix sits in a Norwegian courtroom, January 2020. I'm sorry, I don't mean to slow this up. Okay, also cited Glendon, where black churches of mass murder Dylan Roof left in a Norwegian race baiter or hater killer. Glendon tried to radicalize him while he was discussing the most spurred of to shoot 13 people. 10 of them were fatal. Also named as an inspiration in white supremacist mass murderer Dylan Roof, who killed 9 black people worshipped in North Carolina in 2015. Andres Breivik, whatever his last name is, why you want to pop up now? Oh, this is awful. Sorry about that. The police said 11 of the people who shot were black and the other 2 were white. Like Tarrant, Gandron live streamed his massacre. Tarrant used Facebook Live while Gandron used streamlining service Twitch. It was among the most popular video game, which Twitch removed Gandron's video less than 2 minutes after he uploaded. This is really something. A Twitch spokesman said that they were devastated that their platform has been used. The Google document that contained Gandron's manifesto online for several hours. After it was taken down, Google said its content had violated the web's giant terms of service. Screen grab and content remains online. They also include a number of racist memes and grabs of liberal publication to Gandron's deemed offensive. Gandron's manifesto had been taken down, and anyone who clicks on a link to this message, okay, later. Now, I wasn't able to read his manifesto, but I think anyone who feels that their people are dwindling will act out in ways that people normally would not act out. For an example, okay, there's no way to get into this. Okay. When it comes to income, and people are working and things are wonderful, you have a good life, and then all of a sudden people start coming in, and you really have no problem because you don't see it as a threat. You're like, oh, how you doing, sir so-and-so or miss so-and-so, with different last names from different countries. And then more people start coming in, and more people start coming in. Now, as more people come in, the jobs become a little harder, pay goes down. Then you start looking at people as, I don't like you because you're destroying my quality of life. Why couldn't you stay in your own country and make it work? Why do you have to come here? Why couldn't you go someplace else? Then, hate starts festering. And then you start acting upon that hate to where you really physically start hurting people, because where they're from, they're having difficulties in their land, and then they're coming here to have a better life, which they were allowed to because the government allowed them in. Actually, the government welcomed them, saying, come, we need you. Now, I'm trying my very best to really understand where he's coming from, and I may get crap from all different ends, or maybe this video might not even be seen. I don't know. But me just simply trying to understand where he's coming from. And maybe a little bit. When you look at the way society here is now, the way the United States is that now it's pretty wild here. Women were allowed to have abortions. Now there's gay marriage. Now there's transgender women. There's transgender men. And as this is going on, babies are not being produced. They're just not. And live life as you choose. Marry whomever you choose. That's just what it is. You're able, this is a free country, a free society to live however way you choose to. Marry whomever you want to marry, whomever you choose to. Be a woman if you want to. Be a man if you want to. Now, here's the thing. Not everybody would agree with you. And not everybody would take that in a manner or behave in a manner that would be productive for a society. Now, it's unfortunate that black people are dying because of all this. Now I'm being very superficial. I'm not really pulling back the layers or the way I really want to. I would have to have far more information and to be able to sit here and to be able to show proof of what I'm saying. I just don't want to talk out the side of my neck and just talk about things that I think. No, I would prefer to say the things that I can prove. However, on that note, I think I said enough that I might get some hate. I don't know. I hope not. I just hope that this is taken with how I meant it, and me just simply trying to understand what was in his head and how did he get to where he is. I don't think he's crazy. No. I don't think he's crazy. I just think that he is in fear of his race of people going away. A young man, and that's why I said in my previous video I did not feel comfortable calling him a racist, because he's too young. But since he acted upon his thoughts, which weren't even his own, that's the wild part. His thoughts were not his own. He was indoctrinated by reading the replacement manifesto and then looking around his community as he's reading it, digesting it, and looking around saying, wait a minute, we got too many people. And then, you have arguments about, how population control, population's going down, the white birth rate is down, the black and brown and yellow birth rate is up, and pretty soon you're going to see pictures of white people in the museum saying this is what white people used to look like. I could imagine what went through his head. I don't think he was crazy, but then again, I never met him. It's just I'm just saying what I think. Yeah, whew. Wow. Here's the scary part. This isn't the end of it. Just the fact that he was using an AR-15. Kyle Rittenhouse used that. Tarrant used that over there in Australia. It's going to get rough. And I hope, and I'm speaking directly to white people, I hope there can be a way to where when you see people that are becoming radicalized or having this mindset, find some kind of way to help them. And I don't know what else to say. However, I'm not even going to say I was politically incorrect. I'm just going to leave that alone. This is so serious. And I hope you receive this as I meant it. Me just trying to understand what Payton, how he's viewing the world. That's it. Alright. Thank you for stopping by. Bye-bye.